Now let's talk about the slicing function. So slicing function, how it represents is that the first element is representing the starting index and last element is representing the ending index, and it is separated by the colon symbol. Okay, so here it will, if we write something, let's say if we write like language and let's say we are writing language square bracket 0 colon 3, then it will simply iterate through the it will return the value of value which is present at 0th index, first index and second index. So it will return land. Okay, so string slicing returns a range of characters by using the slicing syntax. So slicing syntax is like string, then box, starting index, stopping index and step size. So here for example we have we have to mention the starting index and end index, and if in case if we do not mention any starting index, then by default Python understands that you are saying zero, you are setting 0 as a starting index, and if you do not mention stopping index, then by default Python understands that this is the last index, and if you do not mention step size, then by default Python understands the step size as 1. Okay, for example let's set instead of before solving this question, let's take one sample. Here if I have to get the first 3 alphabet, then here I can mention 0th index and 3rd index. Let's see what it will print. It is giving us ALP, so which is nothing but the first 3 sequence of letters. Suppose we do not mention 0 here, then what will happen? Again it will give me the same value, because as I said, by default it understands the starting index is 0. And let's say I am putting starting index as 0 and we do not enter the last index. So what will happen? It will simply go till the last element of this string, okay, which is nothing but alphabet. Okay, so if we do not, let's say we do not mention starting index and last index both, so it will give me the same string as it is. Okay, so let's see the step size now. So by default we said that step size is 1. Let's say I am mentioning step size is 2. Then what will happen? It will simply print all alternate element of this string, A, then P, then again A, then again E. So APAE. So since by default starting index is 0, last index is the nth element, and the step size is 2. Okay, so this is all about this slicing. Again there can be negative slicing also. Let's say I am mentioning -2 as the first element, okay, which is the starting index, okay, and then -1 as the last element, and by default it is 1. Maybe we can let's mention 1. Let's see what happens. So it will print the second last element because it is -1. Okay, let's remove this -1. Now we'll see, let's see what happens. It will print the last two letters, that is E and T, and even if we remove, because as we said that by default the step size is 1, so it is going to give me E and T only. Okay, now let's see some magic. So we are seeing that if step size is 1, then it is moving from left to right. Okay, but in case if we mention step size as -1, then what will happen? Let's see. So it is going to print from right to left. So which is the what is the -2 value here? That is E. So from E to A it is going to print. Okay, so this just we will use this property to solve this 12th question. So which says that write a Python program to reverse a given string. Let's say this x is a given string and we have to reverse it. So what we will do, we would not put any starting element, we would not put any ending element, we will simply put step size as -1. So it will simply reverse the string, right? So that's how we can reverse the string. Apart from this, we can also use reversed function. Okay, so that I'll give you as a task, you can try out on your own. Okay, let's move to the question number 13, which says write a Python program that takes a sentence as an input and counts the number of words in it. Okay, so let's say sentence as an input then what we will do, how can we get the number of words in that sentence? So we know we have a method named .count which can simply count something. So how we would know whether it is a word or not? So we know there is a white space between two words. Okay, so can we count the number of white space, and based on that we can say how many words are there in that sentence. So for example, this is a cat, so there would be 3 white spaces. Okay, so it means if sentence dot count, let's put white spaces, so number of words would be nothing but n+1. Whether all of you agree with me on this or not? Let's put it inside this. Let's write some input. This is a cat, and let's see what happens. So it is giving us that there are 4 words, so which is true. So what happened is that we took this as an input and it simply counted number of white space. So there is one white space between this and is, and then there is one more white space between is and a, and there is one more white space between a and cat. So there are total 1, 2 and 3 white space. So number of words is nothing but 3 plus 1, 4. So that's how it worked. Let's take one more sentence as input. We are learning Python for the first time. Let's see. So our code is saying that there are 8 words in this sentence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So our code is working properly. So let's move to the next question, which says write a Python program to check if a given string is palindrome or not. So we know any string is a palindrome when the string is if we reverse that string, that is same when it was at the initial state. So for example, let's say APPA, even if we read it from the backward side, it is same, it is like APPAA only. So now how can we write this solution for this question? So we will take a string as an input, then we will check what is the reverse of that string. If it is same, then we will print it is a palindrome, otherwise we will print it is not a palindrome. Okay, so let's write the code for this. So we are taking word as an input, then we will reversing this string and we are saving it into the variable rev, and then we are checking if word equal to rev, then we will print it is palindrome, else it is not a palindrome. Let's write some word. Let's say Obama only. Okay, so it is saying not a palindrome. Okay, let's write AKA. So it is a palindrome, because even if we reverse it, it will be same, like aka only. Okay, can some of you give me some other word which I can type and test it here? Anyone from you? Okay, let's try one more word, that is reviver. See, it is a palindrome, because even if we reverse it, it will be the same. Okay, let's move to the next question, which says check if a given year is a leap year or not. Before I start solving this problem, I would advise you guys to try it on your own. Okay, I'll give you some hint also. If an year is divisible by 4, then it is a leap year. But you have to also keep in mind, if some year is divisible by 100, yeah, okay, I'll give you some hint. If an year is divisible by 4, then it is a leap year, otherwise it is not. But there are some special cases also, where if some year is divisible by 4, but if it is also divisible by 100, then you have to check whether it is divisible by 400 or not. If it is not divisible by 400, then it is not a leap year. Okay, so using this hint, just try to solve this question by your own. Okay, I'll show you the solutions also now. Okay, so first we will take the user year as an input. So some user will enter the year, then we will see if user year is modulo 4 is equal to 0. If it is 0, then we will check whether it is user year modulo 100 is also 0 or not. If it is 0, then we will check whether it is whether user year modulo 400 is 0 or not. If it is even here also, if it is if even here it is if even here also it is 0, then we will say it is a leap year, otherwise we will say it is not a leap year. And yeah, so this is what we can write it here. So again, I'll explain the logic of this code. It simply checks whether if number is divisible by 4 or not. If it is divisible by 4, then it checks some corner cases where if it is divisible by 100 or not. If it is divisible by 100, okay, if it is divisible by 100, then we will say whether it is divisible by 400 or not. Okay, so if it is divisible by 400, then definitely it is a leap year. If it is divisible by 100 and also divisible by 4 but not by 400, then in that case it is not a leap year. Alright, let's run this code and see how it performs. Let's put some year like 1980. So 1980 is a leap year because it is divisible by 4 and not divisible by 100. So directly by seeing this, so if it is divisible by 4, then directly we can say it is a leap year because it was not divisible by 100. Okay, so let's try out some other year. Let's try out 2000. So since 2000 is divisible by 4 also and 100 also, so we will again go further and check whether it is divisible by 400 or not. Since it is divisible by 400, so it is a leap year. Now let's check 1900. So we know it is divisible by 4, also divisible by 100, but it is not divisible by 400. So that's why it is not a leap year. Okay, I hope the logic is clear to you all. Okay, let's move to the next question, which is question number 16. It says write a program to generate the Fibonacci sequence up to the nth term. I know many of you are not aware about what is Fibonacci sequence. So Fibonacci sequence is the sequence of those numbers where each number is sum of two preceding numbers. Okay, I'll write it here. Maybe you can refer it later also. So it is a series of numbers in which each number is the sum of the two preceding numbers. The simplest is this series 1 1 2 3 5 8. Here you can see 1 is the sum of 1 and there is no other terms, and then yeah, it's you can take it like 1 only. So here 2 is sum of last two digits like 1 and 1. Okay, here 3 is the sum of 2 and 1, 5 is sum of 3 and 2, and 8 is sum of 5 and 3. Okay, like this. Let's write a fun code to do this. Okay, let's take an as an integer input. So where the we will put the Fibonacci sequence, how many Fibonacci numbers we want in Fibonacci sequence. Okay, then first two Fibonacci number we are assuming from our side, which is 0 and 1. Then we will use while loop, so which will check whether the length of Fibonacci sequence is less than n or not. If it is less than n, then it will print the next term. So next term will be nothing but Fibonacci sequence. It will be the sum of last two term of this last two term of the Fibonacci sequence, which is we are using index to show it here, which was -1 and -2, and this Fibonacci sequence is representing a list, right? So we will append this new next term into this Fibonacci sequence. Okay, and this loop will stop when this condition falls, when this condition is not true, right? Let's run it and see how it works. Okay, let's put 3 and see. It is printing 0 1 and 1. We can see that yeah, 0 1 and 1 are the first three Fibonacci number. Let's write 5. So it is printing 0 1 1 2 3. So it is correct. Okay, let's try 7 and see what happens. So hey, this code is printing 0 1 1 2 3 5 and 8. So it is the series of the 7 numbers. Okay, so that's all for this for this topic. Yeah, so 17th questions we have already solved. So where we have created a function, customized function which can perform addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. So that's all about the basics of the Python course. I assume you will practice more and more questions, and if you practice more and more questions, you will get a better grip on this. In the next module we will discuss some important libraries like NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, Seaborn, etc. Okay, so thank you everyone. Let's meet in the next session.